Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day. As always, the opinions expressed in this video are my own and should not, under any circumstances whatsoever, be taken as legal, tax, and or investment advice. As always, please make sure to do your own research. It is imperative. I am getting a lot of requests for a video like this, so I decided to finally do it. People have been asking what are my price predictions during the next bull run in the cryptocurrency space. I'm going to try and be a bit conservative because I can get a bit crazy. I think maybe towards the end of the video, I'll tell you some of the crazier numbers that I think could actually happen. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. I have a couple of coins here, and I'll go through them, obviously, and explain exactly why I think what I think and when this could potentially happen and what will maybe be the catalyst for this actually happening. So, and this is simply because, you know, the market is showing signs of strength once again. So I believe that during the next bull run, things will be a lot better than they actually even were last time. Starting off with Bitcoin, because why not? You know, the all-time high for Bitcoin, depending on where you look. This website has different price metrics. I prefer this website than other websites. Some other websites show Bitcoin hitting $19,997. This one shows $20,236. What have you? Let's round off to $20,000. It's widely believed that during the next bull run, that Bitcoin is going to far surpass the $20,000 where we saw before. Because of the amount of interest in the cryptocurrency space and the amount of interest in the name of Bitcoin, and simply because when we see that cryptocurrencies are being added to different platforms, they usually always typically add Bitcoin. You may find a couple of other coins that get added as well, but Bitcoin is usually the name of the game. I firmly believe that Bitcoin during the next bull run, I think will easily pass by 30,000. I think that's fairly obvious for everyone. Bitcoin went from $900 to $20,000 over the course of a year in 2017. I think the amount of interest that we've now seen every single day in the cryptocurrency space from institutional investors, I think during the next bull run, we're going to hit anywhere easily from $50,000 to $100,000 per Bitcoin. And that is me being conservative, like really hyper conservative, because I think once we end up hitting mentally around a $70,000, $80,000 Bitcoin, this is going to cause people to kind of go into a frenzy and start buying up as much as they possibly can in anticipation for it to actually hit $100,000. I think when Bitcoin does hit $100,000, we're probably going to see some type of a dip. I guess I'll also just tell you the crazy ones right now. I'm expecting to see some type of a dip around 100,000, maybe even close to it. Let's say $99,997. And then I'm expecting a huge shot upwards because the market will know that that's kind of not it. I think, and especially according to a lot of other people who predict that the next bull run will last a 2-year period. That is to say that prices will continue to go up and down, slamming up and down, so and so and so. But with new all-time highs as the time goes on, people are predicting a Bitcoin price during the next bull run of anywhere from 50, 60,000 to around $300,000 per Bitcoin. And I think that the higher amount is probably a bit more accurate than some of the lower numbers. I don't see Bitcoin hitting 50,000 and everyone going, okay, good job, we did it. Yeah, you know, this is as high as we're going to go. I think the market's going to continue pushing because once we hit a $100,000 Bitcoin, this is a very huge psychological number in the minds of everyone to be able to accumulate as much as you can, because if you see $100,000 has been hit, you know logically, or you should know logically, that at one point $1 million is probably on the table as well. So that means if you can start buying up now, whatever you buy will immediately or eventually end up 10xing. Then once again, these are my opinions. I don't think 20,000 was the limit at all. I think this is just the very beginning of a very long stretch. I see Bitcoin eventually hitting anywhere from 1 to 3 million. I don't know exactly how long this is going to take. I want to give it a good 5 to, let's say, 7 to 10 year period, especially after the reward gets cut in half once again in 2024. I think that's going to be a major catalyst for people buying up as much Bitcoin as they possibly can. But on top of that as well, I think what will also help and will continue to help is when we get all these other things launched this year, and when Bitcoin starts to be added to more in type of investment portfolios. I think that's going to be a huge shift for a lot of people to kind of legitimize Bitcoin, because a lot of people, even within the cryptocurrency space, don't lie to yourselves. There are a lot of people out there who may say that they believe in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, but are not buying right now. And this is something really weird for me, because I believe in the very long-term holds for a lot of these cryptocurrencies. And I definitely, like during the next bull run, we are going to pass 50. I think we're going to pass 70. And I think as we start passing 70, we're going to inch towards 100,000. May see a little dip, but definitely I see us passing the $100,000, and that'll be probably one of the coolest days in a very long time. Next up, we have Cardano. It is a coin that I like. I definitely hold Cardano. I am starting to believe a bit more in the project, and this is why I decided to include it in the video as well. It says the all-time high right here was $1.31. I believe on other websites I was seeing $1.27. Give or take, not too much of a difference. This was also before Cardano really kind of came into its own. If you really look at the price over here, the price was really going nowhere. I believe 2018 is when Cardano started picking up more in popularity. There were a couple of people in 2017 who were talking about, getting into it, so and so, what have you. Since then, Cardano has really kind of come into its own. The people who are backing Cardano, who created Cardano, the cryptocurrency, whatever you kind of want to call it, they've spread themselves out across the world, and I think this is going to be a very big thing for them as the price starts to go up, because it'll start to gain worldwide notoriety, even though it may not have that right now. It's very popular within the cryptocurrency space. I definitely believe, without a shadow of a doubt, this is my opinion, that Cardano is probably, I want to say, going to hit at least $3. I know that doesn't sound completely insane or crazy right now, but if you look at the current price of Cardano, it's around 6 cents. So for it to even go to this once again is going to be a tremendous amount of money that's going to be made. I think we'll easily pass for all of the top 20 or top 30 coins. I think the passing, or rather getting back to the previous all-time high is definitely going to be a possibility. I think there's no one who should be disputing any of that anytime soon. I can see Cardano hitting around $3, maybe even $4 on the next all-time high. And I say this simply because a lot of people are calling for a $10 Cardano. I think this is heavily reliant on a multi-trillion-dollar Bitcoin market cap. And I say this because if you look over here, the circulating supply of Cardano rests firmly around 25 billion tokens. That is to say, if you have a $10 Cardano, that is $250 billion. And I'm not sure if Cardano is able to kind of get there yet. If you some of the crazier numbers that I've seen for people talking about the next price for Cardano is around $43, $48. I don't know if Cardano is going to hit it. This is why I've kind of been so bullish on Cardano right now, because it is down 94% from the previous all-time high. To be fair, many other cryptocurrencies are, because of where the market kind of is right now. I believe myself that a 6-cent Cardano, even a couple of months ago, I think it was like 3 or 4 cents. I think that is a great number, my opinion, to get into the market, because even if we just double where we were over here, that's potentially thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not maybe a 6-figure sum that is going to easily be made if you are diligent in investing in Cardano, what have you. $10 Cardano, I don't really know. I can definitely, without a doubt, see a $10 Cardano if we have a $7 to $10 trillion Bitcoin. Then yeah, it's definitely going to happen. But I think that's also reliant on, once again, Bitcoin hitting those numbers, which I do eventually believe that it will. But as far as the next bull run, the numbers that I personally have my eye on is around a $3, $3.50, somewhere around that number. I think it can definitely hit it. I think it'll definitely go to around the $3 mark. And who knows, it may even go a lot higher. This is part of the fun of the cryptocurrency space. You have coins that you think won't go that high, and then lo and behold, they end up doing it anyway. It also ties into Ethereum as well. Ethereum in 2017. Let me see if I can see it over here. Yeah, I don't know. You can see these numbers. For a good part of 2016 and the beginning of 2017, Ethereum was resting anywhere from $8 to around $11. And then by the end of 2017, it hit $1,500. I was expecting this. Many other people were not. I told a lot of people to start buying Ethereum when it was very cheap. no one really listened to me. That is not me telling you to go out there and buy Ethereum. Ethereum is at the current moment the number 2 coin. It is very popular. I think that is even an understatement. There's not words in the English language that I can compile together to let you really understand exactly how popular Ethereum is. We have news that we have governments and agencies and institutions and corporations, hundreds of them, hundreds, that's not an exaggeration, hundreds of them who are going to be using Ethereum, writing their laws on top of Ethereum, putting you can't begin to imagine exactly how deep that this actually goes. A lot of price predictions for the next bull run that I am seeing right now when it comes to Ethereum range anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 per Ether. I think this is very believable. I actually think that Ethereum is very poised to go a lot higher. I think a lot of the reasons why Ethereum is being held back right now is because of the upgrades that we were promised from the Ethereum team in 2017 and 2018 that we simply don't have right now. I think even the $160, $164 Ethereum is a little low. I feel around a good 220, a 240 Ethereum is a bit more accurate for where it should be, simply because of the actual news that we have from many governments and many law firms and everybody else out there, and the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance who are part of the alliance, who have announced that they're going to be using Ethereum. I have a very strange feeling that by the time we end up getting Casper, that is the proof of stake mechanism for Ethereum, which is going to cause a huge constraint in the amount of Ether that are going to be floating around. And once we get Plasma fully active on Ethereum, that is the thing that takes Ethereum from, I believe, the current 25 transactions per second to around, so the number goes, the creator of Ethereum, he said that he believes that Plasma will allow Ethereum to go from 25 transactions per second to anywhere from 1 to 10 million transactions per second. Those are his words, not mine. We don't have Plasma yet, but I believe the moment that we have proper information that we are going to have Plasma, and Ethereum is capable of doing the 10 million transactions per second, even if we do the conservative 1 million transactions per second, I think we're going to see a huge exodus once again from the other cryptocurrency projects that left Ethereum. I believe they're going to flow right back into Ethereum with a vengeance, and this is going to cause a huge amount of interest in the Ethereum space. I believe at some point, I'm not sure if this is going to happen within the next bull run, and I only say this because of the amount of information for the companies and stuff that we know who are going to be using Ethereum. I think that Ethereum will be, I don't know if it'll be the second or third cryptocurrency that is going to pass by the $1 trillion mark. This is once again my opinion. I think we are well on our way to seeing it anywhere from a $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 to $10,000 Ethereum. $1,500 is not the limit, especially we reached $1,500 before people were really into Ethereum, before the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance really got started, before we had countries talking about writing their laws and stuff like that on the Ethereum blockchain. This is going to be big, in my opinion. This is going to be something unlike people, and even if you want to go a little bit further, there are a lot of people who are, and I don't mean this as a joke, within the next 10 years, there are people who are calling from a $25,000 plus Ethereum. I think that is, my opinion, definitely going to happen. I would say the next bull run. I would say the next bull run. I think we're going to hit around 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 during the next one. And after that, when people are really into the cryptocurrency space and we're on the news every single day and we have hedge funds and pension funds and all that other stuff pushing their money into crypto, I think a $25,000 Ethereum in the next 10 years is definitely going to happen. At least in my opinion. On top of that as well, for those who don't know, OmiseGo is one of my favorite coins. It has this really weird, they want to unbank the bank. I can't even begin to explain exactly what they're trying to do, but they are in close cooperation with the Ethereum team. The guy who created Ethereum is also one of the, not advocates, he helps the OmiseGo project. They have many, like, if you YouTube it, they have many like Ask Me Anythings or AMAs where they kind of sit together, the OmiseGo team and Vitalik Buterin, and they talk about the OmiseGo project. They are both OmiseGo and the Ethereum team working on Plasma, which is the thing that is going to allow Ethereum to have 1 to 10 million transactions per second, which is going to be absolutely insane. On top of that as well, because OmiseGo is built on top of Ethereum, OmiseGo will also be able to benefit from these 1 to 10 million transactions, 1 to 10 million transactions per second. I have seen before in the past a lot of people say that they think that OmiseGo has the potential to eventually hit $1,000 per coin. I don't know when that's going to be. Simply based off of the $27 that we hit last time, I have a very strong feeling that OmiseGo is probably going to do a 10x, and I think this is once again reliant on plasma actually happening. OmiseGo itself has not fully launched, which is also a factor in the lower price, if you kind of want to say it, that air quotes. This is before OmiseGo kind of really had anything going. There is an OmiseGo roadmap, which I believe they met some of the things that they planned on saying on the roadmap, but not everything has yet been met. And when I think they have the complete OmiseGo system, and we do have plasma, I think a $250 OmiseGo is fairly obvious for anyone who's actually paying attention to the project. It is one of the very few projects out there that doesn't do hype. The people from the project have admitted that many times before. They have said they do not like the idea of giving out constant news every day, news every week, because it kind of causes people to really lose track of what they're actually trying to do. They're actually trying to change the world. They're not simply here for the money. While the money may be an incentive, they're doing it because they firmly believe in the idea of decentralization and building on top of the Ethereum platform. I think we will eventually see a $1,000 OmiseGo. This is my opinion. But I think during the next bull run, we're going to surpass $100, which is amazing because we're floating around $1 right now. And I can even see a $250 OmiseGo is definitely probably going to happen. That is once again my opinion. Sorry that I keep saying it. I have to really throw it into people's heads because I've had situations before where I told people stuff that I thought about a certain project or currency, and people don't get that it's my opinion and not the opinion of others around me. It's simply me. This is just what I think. This is where I kind of see things going. And even more logically, it's kind of like if Ethereum can go from $8 to 1,500, it is not out of the realm of possibility to think that Ethereum can go from 160 to 4,000. That is kind of the mindset that I use when it comes to the next bull run figures. Next up, we have a fan favorite. It is XRP for those who are not looking at the screen. The previous all-time high for XRP, depending on where you look, it says $3.92. The number that I'm usually quoted is around $3.72 or $3.61. Like I said, it really depends on where you look. A lot of cryptocurrency exchanges do and do not factor in the Korean exchanges and also the Korean exchanges premium that we had before in 2017, before CoinMarketCap took them away. That's life. I don't really know how to give a proper number to XRP, and I don't mean that in like a mean way at all. If you've been watching this channel, you should understand that I am an XRP fan. It pretty much comes down to the fact that it's difficult to actually factor in how many things that the Ripple team has done and how many different places that the XRP token is actually being listed, being used, going to be used. It's not something as simple as, oh, when they get this upgrade and they're capable of doing this many transactions per second, they'll definitely do it. The people from Ripple are trying to take over the world of banking. They've succeeded thus far. They have over, I believe at this point, it's around 220 different partners who are going to be using RippleNet or some form of the Ripple technology. We have news that there are going to be dozens by the end of this year, 2019, dozens of banks, dozens, that is to say not one dozen, at least 24 banks around the world who are going to be using XRP to be able to transact money. And then you also have all the other stuff. You have Coil, you have Codius. There's just a huge multitude of things, and it's very difficult to say exactly where the price is going to go. I think because of, for those who don't know, let me see if I can show you in the chart. If you are looking at the screen, this is a very accurate number. The 1st of January 2017, the price of 1 XRP was 0.006 cents. As 1 decimal place behind a cent, it was worth around half a cent. And I told many people, I said, I thought there was something very special about the coin. It was clear that this company, they were targeting the right people. And we went from half a cent to almost $4 per coin. Since then, and this was in 2017, keeping all of this in mind, I think at this point they maybe had 20 or 30 partners. Now they have 200 plus. They're also working with mega banks around the world. They announced that they're working with, I believe, 80% of all the banks within India. We know that they've also partnered with 50 to 60 different central banks around the world. This is what I mean is difficult to factor it in because it's not something as simple as, oh, when this gets turned on or when that kind of happens, it's like they've set themselves up to actually be used by tens, dozens, if not hundreds eventually of banks around the world who are potentially going to be using their token, or it'll be collateralized in some sort of way. I think during the next bull run, it is going to be impossible for XRP not to go over $10. I think that is completely fairly obvious. It should be to everyone on this entire planet that XRP is going to pass $10. Some of the more, and I mean, not that I really care what other people think, so I'll just kind of put it out there. When you look at the actual usage of the coin, the future usage of the coin, and where a lot of analysts are predicting that it's going to go, and I think a lot of people have kind of stepped back, if you will, from kind of giving these price predictions about XRP, because I firmly believe that no one really knows. I think it's actually impossible. There's no other cryptocurrency out there that has partnered with 200 other banks, that has partnered with 50 central banks. It's just not a thing. Like, only Ripple has kind of done this. I believe at some point that XRP is going to pass by $40 to $50. I've seen numbers around $48. There was a chart that I saw very recently. This isn't very accurate because of how kind of smushed everything is together. And it appears that during the next bull run, XRP looks like it could potentially go over $30 and is somewhere around the $40 range. What makes this really interesting is that every single time that XRP happens or passes through the actual network and people send XRP, a small amount of XRP is destroyed and burned. So the max supply of 100 billion XRP is no longer. You can even see this right over here. This is the amount of XRP that's been burned during a downtime in the market. That is to say, when no one is really using it as much as they even could potentially be using it. This is before we have dozens of banks. Millions of XRP have been burned, and it's expected that more millions are going to continue to be burned at a more accelerated rate, which also then helps to increase the price of the token as more of them are destroyed, not around, never there anymore. We've seen some crazy numbers as far as the future price of XRP. They range in the $500 range. I've also seen some 10,000. I don't think that is, if XRP is hyper used, for like a lot of things, I could then one day see a $10,000 XRP as the supply dramatically dwindles. However, during the next bull run, the number that I'm personally looking for, especially as we are around 30 cents right now, I think $30 Bitcoin is going to, I think a $30 XRP, I was looking at the tab up here. I think a $30 XRP is definitely within the cards. And I think if we get proper confirmation, I'm saying this once again, and I said this before, I'll say it again until we finally get there. When we get proper confirmation of the dozens of banks that are going to be using it, and the other partnerships that I'm pretty sure do not know yet, and the other banks who are going to be using XRP as well, I think eventually, and I want to say this will be a 3, 4, 5 year time frame, I think a $100 XRP is within the cards. I think it's an impossibility at this point not to have a $100 XRP. Once again, say what you might. These are my opinions, just off of the basic usage of it and the idea of where we see this entire thing going. I think we're going to have a $100 XRP, but during the next bull run, I think we will sit firmly around $30 or $40. Once again, that's what I think. Next up is EOS, for those who are not looking at the screen. The previous all-time high of EOS was $23.96. At the moment right now, it's floating around $5. Let's say an even 5, so we don't have to keep saying $4.99. EOS had an ICO that raised, I believe, $4 billion US. It's the largest ICO that it probably ever will be until something else dramatically insane ends up coming about. The idea is that they're trying to, and I think they've even moved away from this idea. A lot of people were saying that EOS is an Ethereum killer. I think that is an idea, a rhetoric, whatever you kind of want to call it, that's kind of flown into the background. I don't think they even care about that anymore. They're aiming themselves to be a major platform, whether it be for gaming, for smart contracts, for a lot of things. There also are plans and discussions to actually have a, what do you call it? Like a universal basic income thing on top of EOS, where pretty much you sign up, you have a digital identity, and you pretty much get money from the platform every single time that new coins are created. What's interesting about the EOS platform is that it uses something called delegated proof of stake, which in the simplest form is that the more EOS tokens that you have, the more you can actually do on the platform. So if you hold a certain amount of EOS, you can build games on it, you can do so and so and so, you can kind of do what you will on the network, and also you are allowed to also vote the more EOS that you have. What happens right now is that I'm pretty certain, I think over half the EOS that there are actually circulating around are actually locked up and tied up and staked within the network so that people can use it, build dApps, websites, applications, whatever whatever word you kind of want to throw out there. EOS hit let's say $24 just to round it off in the end of 2017, before the platform really even launched. It launched sometime in 2018, and that was kind of a really big like thing for the world. Everyone became very, very excited because it was finally time for this project to kind of show what it had, but it got caught up once again in the clause, I hate that term, of the bear market, and it kind of, didn't really make it as high as many people thought that it was going to. There were actually, there was a bet sometime, and it's very weird. It was a bet in 2018, where these two people bet that by the end of that year, that EOS was going to hit $1,000 per coin. During the next bull run, EOS is one of the, if you notice the other cryptocurrencies, down 92%, down 94%, 89%, there we go, 94%. EOS is one of the very few tokens that isn't hit or hasn't been hit as hard by the cryptocurrency market as other coins have, especially with it sitting around $5. It's not really that far away multiplied a couple of times from its previous all-time high. I think that EOS is going to surprise a lot of people. I think that we are definitely going to see a $300 EOS without a doubt. I believe as well, if everything, because there's also a $1 billion fund that is exclusively for the development of EOS, for the apps, for the games, whatever the other case might be. That's not even the other $3 billion that we don't know about, that's probably also being used for something else. I think we're going to see eventually, no, it sounds crazy, but I think we're going to eventually see a $500 to a $1,000 EOS. In the bull run, it's fairly certain we're going to hit 100. A 4x on this. Once again, we hit $24 before the platform launched. So imagine with the platform actually launching, and we keep getting news just about once every 2 weeks or something like that of the amount of people who are actually on the EOS network and actually using its platform, and how much money they're making, and how much so and so and so. When we start to get a feel of exactly how the universal basic income thing is going to be, how many people are going to start buying up EOS in order to be able to be part of this, and also to be able to start to build apps and applications and all these other things on top of their platform, because at the moment, the people from EOS have shown, this was in 2018, I think they were showing off exactly how far or how fast the platform was. I think EOS is capable of doing, I think it's between 4,000 to 6,000 transactions per second, which is a lot compared to some of the other blockchains that we have right now. But there are also still proposals and stuff that's going to be implemented onto the EOS blockchain, such as sidechains, which are also going to eventually allow it to have anywhere from 100,000 to 1 million transactions per second. So this is where I kind of get these numbers from. I think a $500 EOS is definitely going to happen. I want to say during the bull run, a 350 to 500 is definitely going to happen. If we end up hitting 1,000, I honestly would not be surprised. I've actually poised myself for a $1,000 EOS simply because of how large the platform is, and because of how it hasn't really been hit that hard, even as the market was correcting, and even as the market during the last couple of weeks was kind of in the red. I am expecting a very large EOS price in the future. Next up, we have Litecoin. For those who are not looking at the screen, Litecoin is a very interesting one, simply because it's not an underdog. Kind of it is. Litecoin was seen once as the only alternative to Bitcoin. It was only Bitcoin and Litecoin, and then other coins kind of came and pushed Litecoin out of the way. In 2017, Litecoin, where is it? Was around $4, give or take, somewhere. Yep, around here. It was floating around under $4. And then it ended up hitting $379.60. I think Litecoin is going to do something very similar, and this is just once again my opinion. You have to also try to factor in this number. Let's say even if you do it by a factor of 100, You have a $4 Litecoin. Let's round this off to 400 for simplification. I know it says 379, what have you. Let's say 400. That's easily 100 times what it was before. Litecoin also hasn't been hit as heavy as many other cryptocurrencies out there, and this is also because during this year we are expecting the reward of Litecoin to get cut in half. That is to say, when new Litecoin are created, it'll only be half as much as they currently are right now. Is expected to have a very tremendous effect on the price. And I believe that, my opinion, I think that Litecoin is going to have some type of a push above $100 before the actual reward gets cut in half. And I think if this coincides perfectly, I think we could see Litecoin end up hitting, how do I say this? If Litecoin ends up going to $100 before the next bull run, I think that'll only propel it even further. A lot of people are saying, this is kind of where it gets really crazy. I think if we hit a $379 Litecoin in 2017, I think it's fairly certain or obvious, at least to me, that a $1,000 Litecoin is going to happen. It's just there. Like I don't think most of these coins, especially Litecoin, as large as it is, especially because we've seen that it's probably going to be added to many platforms, especially the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. And we're also seeing that when there are other many endowment funds and hedge funds and pensions funds that are investing in crypto, they typically list Bitcoin and Litecoin as at least two of the coins that they're also being invested into. So that leads me to believe that there are a huge amount of Litecoin that are also being bought up. I don't think Litecoin is going to double and a half, and then that's kind of it. And then, we go to 1,000, everyone's like, yeah, we made it. And then, it kind of falters. I think where it gets kind of crazy, I think we are going to soon see one day at least a $3,000 Litecoin. It may not be as impressive as a 100,000 or $250,000 or $1 million Bitcoin. But even from where Litecoin has been, especially because Litecoin, like I said, has kind of been an underdog. It didn't have the greatest light shown on it in 2018, and especially because of the price is $78 right now. Just to even go from $78 to a 10x to around $3,000 per, from where this is right now, that's a huge amount of money that can be made. I don't think Litecoin's going anywhere anytime soon. I think it'll actually only gain more popularity as time ends up going on. I do think, and this is my opinion, I think many other coins are slowly separating themselves from each other, not in price, but in actual usage. And I have a very strong feeling that Litecoin is going to eventually be, my opinion, the other alternative to Bitcoin. That is to say, I think Bitcoin is eventually going to be a reserve currency, and I think Litecoin will kind of be the apple hanging from its tree, if that kind of makes any sense. I think Cardano is trying to build a worldwide system. I think Ethereum is trying to do the exact same thing. Ethereum is trying to be its own internet. OmiseGo is trying to do their unbanking thing, whatever the case might be. XRP is targeting banks and stuff like that. EOS, like many other platforms, are trying to be like a gaming platform, smart contract platform, whatever, hybrid of many, many different things. Litecoin can do all these things, especially with side chains and upgrades and stuff like that. But I think eventually that people will, in my opinion, I'm not expecting a $1 million Litecoin anytime soon, but I could definitely see within the next 10 years a $15,000 Litecoin, because I think Litecoin, this is Charlie Lee dependent. I think if Charlie Lee does what he should do and actually push Litecoin onto many other people and have many meetings and stuff like that, I think the Litecoin could definitely be an actual alternative to Bitcoin, or kind of like if you don't want to pay in Bitcoin, you can simply just pay in Litecoin. This is kind of how I feel about it. And I felt this way for, I want to say, about 6, 7, 8 months. Litecoin is strong. I want to say it's not as strong as other coins. I don't think it'll have as many gains as other coins, but I think it could be one of the largest cryptocurrencies that we have on the planet if things go according to plan. This is, once again, just my opinion. While I don't hold any IOTA myself, I decided to add it into the video simply because the other day we had information that the team from IOTA has partnered with Jaguar, and they have done a very good job throughout the course of 2018 with partnering with at least, I think it's over 15 different companies and corporations who have announced that they're going to be using the IOTA blockchain, which they call a Tangle. We don't have an explicit amount of news about corporations or entities outside of Jaguar who are going to be using the IOTA token. However, that does not mean that many of them are not going to be. They simply may have only announced that they're going to be using the Tangle, and at some point will probably also be integrating the coin with it themselves. IOTA hit $5.64 during its last all-time high. This was once again before they partnered with at least 15 different companies who announced that they're going to be using their technology, and at least one, I think there's also another one who announced that they're going to be using them for like self-driving cars, like the actual recharge stations and stuff like that. This is before all that news. That was, 2 years ago, 2017, when we hit this amount. It's impossible to give an actual price amount simply because, this isn't me, whatever. It's just kind of because of the circulating supply of IOTA in comparison to other coins. And I don't mean, oh my gosh, there's 2.7 billion IOTA. I mean, like, if you get a $1 IOTA, that is a market cap of 2.7 billion. If you get a $10, that's 27 billion. If you get a $100 IOTA, that's 277 billion dollars. And that's also keeping in mind that there are other coins who are probably also going to hit around that number as well. And I don't see during the next bull run if there's going to be the capability of 20 to 30, 40 coins all being able to reach a $250 billion, if you kind of get what I'm saying. I think that Bitcoin and maybe Ether and maybe XRP are going to be maybe one of the 3 coins that are going to hit that $1 trillion first. But a lot of coins will be hard pressed in order to be able to also, $250 billion is a lot of money. I know if we were just talking about, if it was just Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, and IOTA, I would say sky's the limit. I would definitely say we can definitely see a $300 IOTA. But I think IOTA would really need a lot of pickup, a lot of really great news, partnerships, people going to be using it in order to see a $100 IOTA, which would then once again put us at $277 billion as a market cap. I can see a $25 IOTA easily. I want to say $50 IOTA. I could see a $50 IOTA. I don't see, once again, no one knows the future, but I don't really see IOTA hitting huge amounts. We're down 95%. It's at 28 cents. I think even going from 28 cents to $50 a coin, that's still a pretty big payday for a lot of people. I don't think we're going to, who knows? IOTA may surprise all of us and have really crazy news. I don't think we're going to hit $100 this time. 10 years down the line, I could see $150 IOTA. Easily. Unless they surprise us, we'll see. This is one of my wild cards. If you've been watching the channel for at least a year, you know why it's one of my wild cards. I will explain. Kin is a cryptocurrency from the app called Kick. They have millions of users, and pretty much to put it as simple as possible, the reason why I believe in some sort of way in this coin, and to not be mistaken, this is not a long-term hold for me. Bitcoin is a long-term hold. Cardano is kind of a long-term hold. Ethereum is a long-term hold. OmiseGo, XRP, EOS, and Litecoin, these are all my babies. I will be holding them for a very long time. Kin is like a let me see what you got kind of coin. The all-time high previously, for those who are not looking, was 1 decimal place away from 1 cent. I firmly believe, especially because it is 97 down, it's not 97% down from its all-time high. Little chart right here. Most coins easily are going to 10x from where they were before. Easily, like especially at the current prices where they are, easily. So once you get to the previous all-time high, they're going to definitely 10x from there. I believe in Kin as a 1 cent coin. I think a lot of people made that mistake before, thinking that I was buying up Kin because I was like, yeah, I'm going to pass this on to my kids. No, this is a coin that I'm waiting to hit 1 cent. That is to say, it is like around a 9x, give or take, maybe even a bit less from its previous all-time high. I think the highest, or rather, I only care about Kin. Kin could hit $1. I doubt it. That's $756 billion market cap. Kind of get what I'm saying. If Kin hits $1, 756. If it hits 10 cents, that is a $75 billion market cap. Totally believable. If Kin hits a cent, that is a $7.5 billion market cap. That is highly believable for these circulating coins. I think it's going to hit 1 cent. I'm actually even, dare I say, and I don't mean this as a joke, I think Kin could even hit 2 cents, maybe even 3 cents. After that, you're kind of on your own. I'm holding Kin until around, I think I will maybe depart with my Kin around 1 cent and maybe even leave the other half waiting for around the 2 or 3 cent Kin. It's the only reason why I hold Kin. I know it's going to do very well. The people from Kik, who created the Kin token, have announced that they had funding. I think there are at least going to be 25 to 30 different apps out there that are going to be used by you, your friend, and your family, especially if you use the Kin app or Kik ecosystem that are going to be using that token. That's 25 apps that we know that are going to be using the cryptocurrency. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of usage of it, and this is one of the reasons why it is actually on this list. I am waiting for so that's pretty much my prediction. Like I said, it could hit 8 cents, it could hit 16 cents. I don't doubt that these numbers could happen. However, my price prediction is around a good 3 cents. Maximum. To kind of finish things off, while Stellar may not be one of my favorite coins, I think they have done particularly well recently when it comes to all their partnerships. We know that they are working with IBM. We know that IBM is working with them. We know that the people from IBM and I believe one other corporation have announced that they're going to be using the Stellar token, or rather it will be an option on their platform, which still means to me that there are people around the world who are going to have the option of using Stellar or Lumens, depending on what you want to call it, on these actual platforms. The previous all-time high of Lumens was 92 cents. We are currently sitting at 10 cents. I think we are easily probably going to see a $10 Lumens. It's kind of weird simply because there's a couple of reasons for this. The supply of lumens continuously increases. There will never be a cap on the amount of lumens that are out there. The current circulating is around 19 billion, give or take. If lumens is $1, that's 19 billion market cap. A $10 lumens is 191 billion. I think it can do it, and that's only because of the information from IBM. I dare not say at any point, me particularly, that we are going to see a $100 lumens anytime soon. If $10 is 191 billion, $100 is a $1.9 trillion lumens. I think that is a bit of a stretch, especially because the amount of it is still circulating, or rather that this will continue to increase. And as far as we know, the people from Lumens and Stellar have announced that they are going to continuously add more of this to the actual circulating supply through giveaways, through airdrops, whatever the case might be. It's one of the coins that I think I hold a few lumens. Maybe it's not one of my like, oh my gosh, I love this coins. I think we could hit a $5 lumens. Definitely. I think from the 10 cents right now, I think a $3 lumens is definitely going to be possible. But a $10 lumens, we need heavy news from multiple organizations, from multiple companies, that they're not only accumulating lumens in anticipation of a price rise, but they're using it. For me, it comes down to like pension funds and stuff like that. Like for the, without even getting too deep into it, because it's a very weird topic. For retirement funds, these funds are making huge gains and huge strides because people are only going to continue to get older because of technology, science, what have you. When a coin is announced to be held by a pension fund, especially even maybe a hedge fund that is very long on cryptocurrency, then I kind of get a bit more into that cryptocurrency. I don't think Stellar has been as much as at the moment. However, I think the potential for future gains is definitely there. I think a 10-cent lumens is almost laughable. I think we will definitely at least see $3 and maybe a $5 lumens. $10, I would say maybe next 3, 4, 5 years when we have multiple trillions of dollars in the cryptocurrency space. And a lot of these are, of course, reliant on the price of Bitcoin. I personally do not believe that we are going to see a multi-$100 billion lumens or Kin or IOTA or even a $6,000 Litecoin before we see Bitcoin hit a $1 trillion market cap. Right. I hope you all enjoyed Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. Tell me what you think. Tell me what numbers you think, because I like to hear other people's opinions, because sometimes I do get lost in my own world. I read and I gather my own information, but I always wonder what other information that everyone else kind of has. Like, where do you think these coins are going to go? Do you think that it is possible that we are going to see a $100,000 Bitcoin? Do you think we can have a $1,000 OmiseGo? And do you think that during the next bull run that XRP is capable of hitting $48? Tell me exactly what you think. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. You're all awesome. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.